to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from Cincinnati. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go. Hands up.
Dalton now to pass. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second down, Dalton. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
368!
Here's Dalton. And it's complete to Kroft. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. With 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Get ready for 57 over there. 368!
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Open man is Uzomah. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
There you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Hey. Watch this.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They run for it with Mixon. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Ooh, that's taking a real chance on the opening drive of the ball game. I get wanting to be aggressive, but you don't want to leave your defense in a bad spot right away. Fortunately, they're able to convert here on 4th down.
How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer out him again.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Here's a run with Mixon. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. First carry for James Conner. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The football switching back over here to the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a team this year that had a promising start. They were 4-1 if you think back to the early portion of the season, but then it really all unraveled. They lost 7 of the next 8. Of course, injuries did not help them this season.
No doubt about that. When you lose your quarterback, Andy Dalton, and your star receiver, A.J. Green, that doesn't make for good offense, let alone overall productivity. But it really unraveled, as you said, the middle portion of the schedule. And when they were losing 7 of 8, it was really defense. They ended up letting their defensive coordinator go. They were giving up nearly 500 yards per game. It just all came apart. And that's a team that I identified in preseason as one that could surprise. The surprise was on me.
Dalton. Going deep for Eifert. He's got him in, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Over here, yes. 368!
Dalton, 1st and 10. Green's got it over the middle. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 40 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are in a fight for the AFC North, a fight for their playoff lives, but if they find themselves playing in January, they might look back to that Week 15 win over New England as really the thing that got them over the top.
And remember, that stopped a 3-game losing streak. And when you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers fighting for their lives to go to the playoffs, they fought in that game against New England, got off the deck, and they came out swinging and played really, really well. So if they go down, qualify for the playoffs, win the AFC North, and if they're dangerous, that will be the game. I agree with you totally.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And
they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So the sack and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. Le'Veon Bell. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 75 yards. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Boswell good with the extra point. And it's now 13-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again. And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
368! 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. Third and long. What will Dalton dial out? To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On second down, it's Bell. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will put them on top here in the third. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Gets around him. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Go, on the ball! On the ball!
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he whips that one incomplete there.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Cody Sensabaugh. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On third down, Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
5-0, 5-0, 5-0. High. Heavy.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll run it with Bell, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Here's Roethlisberger, forced out to his left. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. A nice little juke. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll go again with Bell. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A road win, and then